Michael Brown here, short little video for you today. I was cleaning up my studio and I found this Canon SELPHY printer that I purchased a few years ago with the intent of using it for some lenticular experiments. Well, I had some free time, so I thought I would pull that unit out and give it a go. It's a dye sublimation printer, so you actually load it with roll media and special paper. And the dye sublimation process basically heats the ribbon roller and then transfers dye to the receiving layer of the paper. So it's pretty neat. The size I'm using here makes 4x6 inch prints. They cost about 35 cents a piece by the time you purchase the paper and the ribbon. The printer's wireless, so I can stream the data right over from my Macintosh. So you'll see the print process here. Each of the 4 passes, yellow, magenta, cyan, and then there's a clear overcoat to give the print some durability. Dye sublimation printers are pretty neat. They have great dark keeping characteristics. I have some Kodak dye sub prints I made in the early 90s which still look vibrant. They're not so great for light fast applications. So if you're going to put one on the wall, it'll last a year, 2, 3 years, but it's probably not going to go 10 years or 20 years. The light just ends up fading the dye. Of course, that's just my own experience. I don't know. Take it for what you will. Now this little cardboard frame, I also found these in the office. I forgot I even purchased those, but I was doing a lenticular presentation years ago at NSA, and someone said, well, you don't have to laminate, you can just buy cardboard frames. And so I thought, well, I want to try that out. So I bought a bunch of them from VueThru. These are 4x6 60 LPI sheets. They're actually pretty handy and they work pretty well. I guess I need to clean the office more often and see what other goodies I have behind. So this is a pitch test chart I generated with Triaxis 3D Master Kit. I just used the default settings with the color pitch chart. You can see it came out to 59.6 using the dye sub, which is also interesting because when I printed with my Epson inkjet printer, the pitch actually was 60.08. So it just shows you how the printer can directly affect the pitch you need to interlace at. So now we're in Master Kit. I loaded a frame series. This is actually a 3D series. The lens I'm using is actually animation lens, but I don't know. I thought I'd just give this a try. It ended up working pretty well. I made another one of an antique car, and that turned out pretty well too. What I'm doing here is I'm actually putting in the gray anaglyph preview, and in this case when I did this I found out my frames were in the reverse order, so I had to change that. The MasterKit software makes that pretty easy. You can either have them, A to Z or Z to A. So I clicked that button, it instantly reversed all the frames. Now the preview looked good. Had to change my aspect ratio to the 4x6 inch print. Now we'll put it back in its regular default view. Time to do the lenticular interlacing. I tell it my print size. Now even though it's 4x6, I printed it just a little bit smaller so I could have the registration board up here. Here I'm putting in the pitch test value, the 59.6 for the Canon printer. Sending that off to a file. Now 3D Master Kit is a PC program. I'm actually running a Mac, so I use the Parallels emulator software to run PC programs on my Macintosh. Here I'm giving the file a name. The default names from 3D Master Kit are actually pretty good. They're very descriptive. Save that to the desktop. Now I'm zooming out so you can see I'm actually on a Mac. I'm going to open that file in Adobe Photoshop. Go File, Print. What's handy is the printer's actually sitting over on my light box, but the printer supports wireless printing. The cable you see is just the power cable. The printer will also run off batteries. You can see I'm getting the cardboard frame with its lenticular lens already. These prints take about a minute to print out. So spool over the data, does the 4 passes, yellow. They're fun to watch. An actual professional dye sublimation printer, this would all be enclosed because you want to keep dust off the print paper. If a little piece of dust fell on the paper right now and went into the machine, when it printed the next pass, you would see that defect. So you probably want to do this in a clean area. Of course, lenticular printmaking you want to do in a clean area. So it's very consistent in requirement. So it's just about done. There's little borders on the left and right of the print, and those can be trimmed off. You'll see that in just a moment. They're actually perforated, so you can just break them off. So here I've got my 3D under the lens. Not tremendous parallax in this case because it's an animation sheet, not a 3D sheet. VueThru sells both types. Here you can see I'm breaking off the print border. Now it fits in there just perfectly. I'm actually surprised without critical alignment how well these work out. Probably great for a home user. Hope you enjoyed the demo.